as much as anyone to define rock and roll's potential and attitude in its early years, died on Saturday at his home near Wentzville, MO. He was 90. The St. Charles County Police Department confirmed his death on its Facebook page. The department said that it responded to a medical emergency at the home, about 45 miles west of St. Louis, and that life-saving measures were unsuccessful. While Elvis Presley was rock's first pop star and teenage heartthrob, Mr. Berry was its master theorist and conceptual genius, the songwriter who understood what the kids wanted before they knew themselves. With songs like Johnny B. Good and Roll Over Beethoven, he gave his listeners more than they knew they were getting from jukebox entertainment. His guitar lines wired the lean man of country and the bite of the blues into phrases with both a streamlined trajectory and a long memory. And tucked into the light-hearted, telegraphic narratives that he sang with such clear enunciation was a sly defiance, upending convention to claim the pleasures of the moment. Continue reading the main story. Advertising. Continue reading the main story. In Sweet Little 16, You Can't Catch Me, and other songs, Mr. Berry invented rock as a music of teenage wishes fulfilled in good times, even with cops in pursuit. In Promised Land, Too Much Monkey Business, and Brown-Eyed Handsome Man, he celebrated and satirized America's opportunities and class tensions. His rock and roll was a music of joyful lusts, laughed-off tensions and gleefully shattered icons. Mr. Berry was already well past his teens when he wrote mid-1950s manifestos like Roll Over Beethoven, Rock and Roll Music, and School Day. Born Charles Edward Anderson Berry on October 18, 1926, in St. Louis, he grew up in a segregated, middle-class neighborhood there, soaking up gospel, blues, and rhythm and blues, along with some country music. He spent 3 years in reform school after a spree of car thefts and armed robbery. He received a degree in hairdressing and cosmetology and worked for a time as a beautician. He married Themetta Subs in 1948 and started a family. She survives him, as do 4 children, Ingrid Berry, Melody Eskridge, Aloha Lisa Lee Berry and Charles Berry Jr. By the early 1950s, he was playing guitar and singing blues, pop standards, and an occasional country tune with local combos. Shortly after joining Sir John's trio, led by the pianist Johnny Johnson, he reshaped the group's music and took it over. From the Texas guitarist T-Bone Walker, Mr. Berry picked up the technique of bending 2 strings at once that he would wrap up and turn into a rock and roll talisman, the Chuck Berry lick, which would in turn be emulated by the Rolling Stones and countless others. He also recognized the popularity of country music and added some hillbilly twang to his guitar lines. Mr. Berry's hybrid music, along with his charisma and showmanship, drew white as well as black listeners to the Cosmopolitan Club in St. Louis. In 1955, Mr. Berry ventured to Chicago and asked one of his idols, the bluesman Muddy Waters, about making records. Waters directed him to the label he recorded for, Chess Records, where one of the owners, Leonard Chess, heard potential in Mr. Berry's song Ida Red, a variant of an old country song by the same name. Ida Red had a 2/4 backbeat with a hillbilly oompa, while Mr. Berry's lyrics sketched a car chase, the narrator motivated after an elusive girl. Mr. Chess renamed the song Maybe Eileen, and in a long session on May 21, 1955, Mr. Chess and the bassist Willie Dixon got the band to punch up the rhythm.